what we mean, who do we mean those people, when I say those people who actually need these technologies? We mean elderly people, we mean those people who doesn't have enough income, we mean those people who are who needs more education. Now, when you consider the society as such, a new concept is starting. You are creating a community. By using mobile technology, you are creating a community and you are building their capacities. You are improving on their capacities to use technologies better and for the things that they need. For example, you create content and application for those people who are looking for a job. So therefore, you are helping people who are not employed. You are creating certain services for women. So you are helping a community of women living in a country. Some of the examples, I think you may know this, it's very well known, village phone. It started in Bangladesh. It used to be called Phone Lady. So they gave a phone to a lady in the village, and suddenly the life of the lady has changed. The lady became so empowered. Everybody came, if they wanted to have a communication with the outside world, came to this lady, and she was like a payphone. They gave her some money to use her phone to communicate with the outside world. Now they improved this solution where now they have a mobile phone and a camera and a laptop and in a bag, in a kind of an integrated device. Now this lady can be helpful to not only for communication but also for other reasons. As we talk, for example, a patient care. For example, she can help an elderly lady to communicate with her relatives or son who studies abroad. But at the same time, if she has some kind of visible illness, she can consult a doctor in the city. So it's becoming very important. Now, the source of this idea is very interesting. Now, the person who actually not created this one, but the similar applications, were looking at the relationship between poverty and technology. So he was trying to find a sustainable solution to the problem of poverty. Now he looked at this circle where in the villages people bought, some animals like a cow, and then they milked the animal, and then they made some income. Now to buy this animal, they had to borrow money from the bank, and when they made money out of it, they were paying the bank, they were paying their debt. And in this circle, he said, instead of cow, why don't I put a mobile phone? The same thing. So they could use the mobile phone to generate some income, so they would give some lending to the people, especially to the ladies, and they could use some of the generated income to pay back their. So it's a kind of a simple way of improving life in rural areas. Probably micropayments that is being used very widely in the developing world. That you can transfer money from one phone user to other, as if you are just transferring some kind of credit, as if there is a bank everywhere. So you are using the telecom operators' branches as if they are a bank, right? You know this. And but most interesting example comes from, say, in the middle of the Amazons, there is a farmer who has some produce, and the merchant, when they come to this farmer, they used to be able to charge any price they want, because the farmer was in the middle of nowhere, and he had to sell this produce, and he had no idea the price of, say, tomatoes. If this was in Brazil, he had no idea about the price of the tomatoes in, I don't know, Brasilia or São Paulo. So therefore the merchant would charge any price. But now they receive text messages every day or whenever they need it. So when the merchant comes, they say, oh, okay, your tomatoes is, I don't know, 1 dinar. And he would say, no, I think it's 2 dinars. So look at this text message. So this is helping to improve their lives. And the fishermen in Sri Lanka, before they arrive to the coast, they can kind of receive messages from the merchants how much they will pay for their catch. So instead of going to the one direction from the sea to one merchant, they can choose which one gives the higher price. And in this way, they are improving their lives. How am I doing with time? I've got half an hour more? Okay. In Africa, again, in some of the African countries, mobile phones are used in education. This has shown that students actually like to receive these mobile phones and information on the mobile phones, and their interest in the education and school has improved. And also for health, for HIV problems, people are often very shy to go to certain clinics to get a treatment or a kind of test, so they can receive the result of their test over mobile phones. Now, what is happening here is very, very interesting. Now, we are having connected people with some device, and that device has certain capabilities. And the way people connect to each other can be in several different ways. There is a very dynamic network effect going on there. And this is very, very important for e-government implementers. Now, people with the new social networking tools, such as Facebook and similar, people are becoming much more stronger in terms of their participation. In Philippines, with an SMS, they were able to force a government to resign. They were doing a protest, and their protests were not. The police wasn't able to stop their protests because they were texting each other for the next place for the protest, and police wouldn't know. And so, before the police arrives to the protest place, they would move to somewhere else. And it took some time, and the government had to resign over this protest in Philippines. And in Spain, again, a result of an election has been influenced by the protesters using SMS. So this is a very, very important tool. So what does this mean as a public sector organization? Now we have to be really very open-minded about this, and we have to look for ways of accommodating these dynamic effects. Mobile technologies have many ways of improving life, infrastructure development, as we talk, better and new business processes. When the technology comes into organization, the way we do business changes, and hopefully it goes for the better. And the public sector becomes more, public sector organizations become more responsive to the needs, and also social and economic development. So with these mobile technologies and an empowered, I say empowered, both for mobile and empowering, an empowered individual becomes a building block of mobile development for a country. And that those individuals create societies, and empowered societies are pillars of mobile development.